Okay, guys, so now that you've set up how your Tumblr views will look, I'm going to show you just a few other basic things. When you're still here under settings, when you clicked on this and you clicked on settings and it goes to this page that looks like this, you'll see here these different tabs that you can click on. I'm not going to click here on account because that shows some personal information like my email address and things like that. But basically that's what it's going to say on yours, your email address, and the password you have set in. I think it also shows your language, I think maybe in your time zone, and it also is going to show a list at the bottom of any Tumblr users that you've chosen to ignore, and I'm going to talk about that later when we get to a different section. And then here it says dashboard. We're going to go ahead and click on that, and you'll see here these different choices that you can make. If you want to have notifications on your dashboard, what that means is anytime someone is following you, starts following you, or likes your posts, or reblogs it, or replies to a post, you're going to get a little notification. It's going to pop up kind of around this area, just real quick. You're going to see it, and then it'll be gone. If you don't want those to show up, then you click on that so you won't get them. Okay, and the next one is show real-time notifications from people you follow. What that means is anyone that you follow, if they liked a post of yours or reblogged it or sent you a message or they replied to a message of yours, you're going to see it in your dashboard feed. Maybe in between people's posts, you'll see so-and-so answered your question or something like that. That's what that means. And then obviously endless scrolling is kind of self-explanatory. I'm not sure why you wouldn't want that, because that's kind of the fun of Tumblr, is just to keep scrolling. And the next one is show unread message count, and that is over here. You see the little envelope. Anytime someone sends you a message, it's going to have a number up there, however many messages you have that you haven't looked at yet. It's going to show up on top of that little envelope. So that's what that's for. And then likes. What this means is you're not necessarily sharing everything you like. People aren't going to see it in their dashboard, but it creates a page of everything that you have liked. You see the in posts on the bottom right hand corner is a little heart. If you like that post, you click on the little heart, and those are going to show up on a page just like this, tumblr.com/liked/by/your-name. And if you don't want Tumblr to create a page like that, then you're going to click that off. Okay, so I have actually seen some themes that allow you to have your likes on your page. But if you're like me and you kind of don't, you just like it, but you're not necessarily wanting to reblog it, then it's going to show up here on this page just like that. The next thing is the text editor. You really don't have to worry anything about this. Just make sure it's on rich text editor. I don't think you want to have HTML, and I have no idea what markdown means. So there you go. Now we're going to go to notifications. And you see here where it has my name, and then I have it set for all notifications and all emails. If you click here on this little pencil, this is why it says that. I have it set so that it will send me emails anytime I have a new follower, I get a new reply to a post, I get a new message, someone mentions me in a post, someone sends me an ask, someone answers my ask, as long as it wasn't an anonymous ask, or someone sends me fan mail. So it's going to automatically send me an email anytime that happens. That's a good thing if you're not necessarily on Tumblr very all day or very often, and you want to know that someone has sent you something or has mentioned you. And then and I have it set to get notifications from everyone. And if you see up here where it says apply settings to all blogs, that of course is if you have more than one blog but you want to have the same settings to all of them, then you would click on that. And we'll talk about having more than one blog in a minute. So then once you're done with that, you'll see here where it says Tumblr News if you want to get emails about any trending topics or things that Tumblr thinks you might like, then you can have that clicked. If you don't care anything about that, then you can turn that off. Then if you have an app, obviously the Tumblr app on your mobile device, then it's going to show here that you have that set up. And if you have any other apps that you use along with Tumblr, for example, I have an Instagram account where sometimes I might post a photo from my Instagram and share it also on Tumblr, so it's set up to coincide with that. The last thing I'm going to show here is where you see this is my one and only blog under this account, but you see here where it says create a new blog. And you can click on that if you are wanting to have a secondary blog under the same account. Now let me explain that as simply as I can. Okay, so Tumblr allows you to have only one primary blog per account. And that means per email address. However, you can have multiple secondary blogs under the same account. If you have ever followed someone and you see on their dashboard, whenever you see their little avatar, it looks like they have two avatars, where there's maybe a square here and then another little square here, kind of in the corner. That means that blog is a secondary blog. If you have, say you have a blog about traveling, and you decide you want to have a secondary blog just about Paris, that might actually be a good idea as a secondary blog. However, here's the thing about secondary blogs. You can have people following you, but you can't follow back. That's one thing that I don't like about having a secondary blog. I had one for a very short time and I decided to delete it because it wasn't even worth anything because I couldn't follow anyone. So how was anyone supposed to follow me? Okay, so what I meant by if, say you had a blog about traveling and you decided to make a secondary blog because say you were going through all your posts and you realize, hey, I really post more about Paris than I do any other place. So let me go ahead and create a secondary blog, just about Paris. So that way anyone that follows me can also follow that blog if they like my Paris posts. But say you had a blog about exercise and fitness and your favorite band was Led Zeppelin. You might not want to have a secondary blog just about Led Zeppelin when that's not really what you're known for. And because you can't follow people, you wouldn't be able to follow other blogs about Led Zeppelin so that they would follow you back. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to be I know it sounds a little vague, but I'm trying to be as simple as I can. But anyway, the best thing to do if you want to have a second blog that's about something completely different is to create a new account. And with that, you'd have to have a completely separate email address to create that account. And it's kind of a pain, but that's just the rules of Tumblr as they stand today. Okay, and while I'm on this page, I want to show you how if you go down here, there's some links, and if you click here on help, this is your basic help menu for Tumblr. If you have any other questions that I don't end up addressing in my tutorials, then you might be able to find them here. You can click through here, or you can type up here what specifically it is you need help with. And for the most part, this is how I've learned how to find answers to my questions. So just a good tool to have. And the last thing I'm going to mention that I forgot to mention in my last tutorial, and I've had a few people ask me about, is how to change your URL name. If you remember when you went over here to settings, and you see right here where it says your username, and you see a little pencil right here, you can click on that and change your URL name. Once you do that, I think it will keep your name in case you want to change your mind within 24 hours, or it will save it if you want to use it as a secondary blog. But then after 24 hours, it's gone and someone else can use it. So just wanted to let you know that, because I know a lot of people end up changing their username, and sometimes it makes me confused, but to each their own, I suppose. So hope that's helpful.